Hello and welcome to day 16 of 28 days of stretching, mobility and yoga. Another 15-minute routine for you today. A little bit more energized than yesterday, but hopefully by the end of it you're really going to feel the difference in your body and you're going to feel a little bit more relaxed and more energized for the rest of your day. So we are on our feet today. Let's just bring ourselves into mountain. I like to just take a moment to really focus on the breath and just come into our body for a moment. So I want you to spread your toes as far as you can, gently lift the arches of your feet and just notice that all of your joints are stacked one on top of the other, knees over ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips, letting your arms hang down by your side and drawing the crown of the head to the sky. Just gives us a moment to notice our body and how it's feeling in this moment. And then we're just going to focus on the breath for one. Nice big breath in. And then slowly release. Let's see if we can lengthen it, breathing in. And slowly out. So I just want you to feel grounded and notice the way your feet are connecting with the ground. So really spread the toes, create as big a base as you can. And then we're just going to reach up to the sky with our hands. So breathing in. And all the way back and round to bring them back down by your side. It'll be a really great way just to, again, create more length through the body. This time breathing in, bring the shoulders up to the ears. And back down. Good. And then we're just going to start swinging the arms. So we're going to wrap the arms around us. So we switch. So one goes on top and then the other. It doesn't matter which way around. I don't want you to overthink which arm is going on top. We're going on top and then switch. Nice big circles. Good. Big breath in and out. Just continue to focus, opening up through the chest and then closing back up. That we are choosing to close with a hug to ourselves. One more. Bringing your arms down by your side and we're just going to gently swing one way and then the other. So you're letting the length of your arm rotate you around one way and then the other. That's it. Just nice, gently. Notice the twist, feel the release in the back, and again, we're not forcing it. Just gently rock from side to side. One more each way, coming back to stand still. Take another big breath in and out. Now you may just want to hold on for some of the things we're going to do in the next few minutes. If you've got a chair or the sofa or a wall to hold on to, do grab hold. I don't want you to feel not in balance while we're doing these. So we're going to start bringing the left leg forward and then back. So you also need the space to make sure you're not going to kick anything. I don't want any toes being injured for this one. If you find that you haven't quite got the space, you can just bring your knee up and back. That's going to take up a lot less area. So we're just opening up through our left hip at the moment. If you want to work on your balance too, feel free. Try and keep your hips forward. That's it, great stuff. One more, and then we're going to turn it round or just switch sides, whatever works better for you in your space. So we're standing on the left leg and we're opening up through the right hips. Good. And as I say, just lift the knee up if you haven't got space, or if you're trying to work on the balance and you find the lengthening of the leg a little bit too much, just keeping that knee bent might help as well. Great, well done. And one more. Coming back down, we're going to switch it back over. So we want to get a little bit more opening up through the hips. So we're going to bring the left knee up, open out, and then come back to the front. Okay, so you can come down and reset each time if you want, or what you can do is just focus on the opening of the hips. So you're starting at the front, open and close, open and close. Imagine it like a door. If you're finding it super tight and you're not moving very far, it doesn't matter. Just notice and observe. This is what this is about, hoping that we can start to create more space, start to find these things becoming a little bit easier. One more. But sometimes we always have certain things that are challenging to us. So we're going to bring that right knee up, and again, opening up. You can reset each time if that becomes more manageable. You can be holding on if you need that little bit of extra balance, because the main objective here is to open up through your right hip. That's it, good stuff. So you're probably starting to notice a little bit of warmth building in the body, a little bit more focus on this mobility side today. One more. Fantastic, well done. Just shaking the legs out. We're going to come into a nice basic quad stretch now. So if you can, you're going to take hold of your left foot with your hand, bringing your foot up behind you to your glute, bringing your knees together. If you find that's just too much, you can't get hold of your leg, you could either use something to loop and keep it in position, or if you've got a chair or some sort of surface that you can just rest your foot on and create that stretch, please just do that. But the goal is to open up down through the hip flexors and the quad on the left side first. That's it. And again, we want to get to the point where we can feel the stretch, but it's comfortable. We can hold it there. We could be hanging around here for a couple of minutes if our balance allowed it, and we can really let the muscles relax and release. As you continue to focus on the breath, as you breathe out, what happens is we can start to release some of that tension. You notice they start to lengthen a little bit more. Perhaps you can deepen the strength. You can push your pelvis forward a little bit, take the stretch deeper. Really just focus on how your body's feeling, how you can get the most from this stretch. Fantastic. Just that extra little bit of time is going to really allow us to maximize what we're getting from each of these moves. So we're going to release the left, and now we're bringing it into the right. So again, if you can take hold of the foot, bring the foot up behind to the glute, draw the knees together, stand up nice and tall. All the other variants are just as good. The goal is to get the stretch down through our hip flexors, down through into the quad. So many people have super, super tight quads, and I'm hoping that over the next few weeks we're going to really be able to work on them so that this becomes more comfortable and hopefully a little bit more enjoyable and not too painful. Please do, and if it is unbearably uncomfortable, just release and then go again. That's it, good. Remember, push, just tilt the pelvis to deepen. Well done. Keep focusing on the breath. Great stuff. Last breath before we release the foot back down. And then we're going to do our standing figure of four, otherwise our pigeon when we're down on our mat. So I want you to bring your right ankle across your left leg, and then we're just going to sit back. There we go, just get your balance. Again, if you find that holding on doesn't give you enough, you can do this one seated. It's not a problem. Again, the goal is to open up through the hip. And just take your time, and as much as possible, try and send your hips back. That's going to really open up deeper. And just hold it there. Great, well done. Just taking your time. Nice breath in and out. Releasing the upper leg down, and we're going to switch sides. So bringing the ankle across the leg into that four shape, and then sending the hips back, hinging at the hip to open up through our left hip this time. Again, And just noticing whether this side feels easier or more challenging. And do a seated version if that feels better. If the balance becomes more challenging than the stretch, just take the alternative. So you can really maximize opening up through the hip. Nice big breath in and out. Great, releasing down. So we're just going to lengthen the legs a little bit more, and we're going to get our ankles moving. I'm going to do some calf raises. So what I want you to do is come right up onto your tiptoes. So this is going to allow your toes to spread. It's going to feel a stretch all the way up the back of your leg, particularly through the ankle and up through the calf. See if you can just hold it there. And then slowly lower back down. Squeeze all the way up, nice and high. And very gently control it back down. Squeeze up and hold. And back down. One more time. And back down. And I want you just to spend now a few breaths playing with your toes. I want you to see if you can make your toes do a Mexican wave. See if you can control them separately, whether you can make them spread further apart, maybe you can scrunch them up, but just try and get as much movement in that front portion of your foot as possible. So you might be lifting them up nice and high and then pushing and gripping into the mat. If you're on the carpet, that might be even better because you can really grip and hold the fibers of the carpet. Squeeze and release. And one more time. That's it, great stuff. Right, just let them release. Make sure they're not feeling too tense now. We're gonna bring them back underneath our hips. Taking a nice big breath in. Breathing out, taking it down, swan diving into our forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. That's it. Really just allow yourself to get nice and comfortable here. I want you to focus on getting that stretch all the way down the back of your leg. You can either just let your hands hang down, or you could take hold of your elbows. Just let the head hang. Have a little swing from side to side. Get as much release as possible. Really focus on your breath. We're not rushing to come out of this one. We're trying to hang as long as we can. And actually, the longer you're there, you might find that you can start to straighten your legs a little bit, have less of a bend, and just notice where it feels tight, which side might feel tighter, whereabouts in the leg it feels tighter. Great stuff. Good. And then we're just gonna bring it back and just sit down into a squat. So we're gonna take it one side and then the other, just to start easing in. Hopefully our hips are gonna feel happier about this than we would have been at the start. We wanna flatten our feet if we can, lift through the arches of the foot, and then lift up through the chest. Good. And if you're just finding that's not comfortable, just keep going from side to side. So flatten one foot and then flatten the other foot. That's it, we're nearly there. It's just a little bit more warmth to build in the body, really opening up the hips, testing how this feels. That's good. One more breath. And then drive up into standing. One more time, we're going to come to mountain. Take a big breath in, reaching up, lengthening as much as we possibly can, reaching through our fingertips. And as you exhale, dropping your arms back down by your side. I hope you feel good after that 15-minute workout, and I'll be back tomorrow for another one.